Hi, darlings. I am about to shower and get ready for work, but before I do that, I want to share with you a poem that I wrote in 2003, which is about 9 years ago, or over 9 years ago, 9.5 years to be exact. A friend of mine, during this time period, I was a graduate student at Howard University, had challenged me to write a poem using the line, "I'm in love with a man that's in love with himself." I immediately went to work, and what I'm about to read to you is the result of that. It's called Narcissistic Lover. I'm in love with a man that's in love with himself. Loving him is a struggle between how do I love thee and complimenting him on how he dressed today. Not that telling my man is that he looks good is a problem, but it would be nice if the conversation would flow beyond what labels he would wear. I'm in love with a man that's in love with himself. If I had known that loving this man would involve constantly accepting his mirror time, I would have looked the other way when we first met. After all, it ain't my fault he grew up being a pretty boy and has nothing but idiocy co-signing that fact every time he talks to me. Who the fuck does he think he is? I'm in love with a man that's in love with himself. Here I am, unable to go out, because this fool is tripping about one hair out of place or one broken nail like it's the end of the goddamn world. And otherwise, for the record, don't let me have a flaw, because that's the start of an argument regarding how I make him look bad in front of other people. And that usually ends with me changing my clothes and biting my tongue just so he can have his ego stroked by those ignorant flunkies. I'm in love with a man that's in love with himself. I have never dated a man who could talk a hole in my head without saying jack shit. You know, the type of guy that loves the sound of his own voice and still has the nerve to come at me and say, "You're not listening to me." Damn right I'm not listening to you. I'm too busy trying to block out whatever trash that's coming out of your mouth that you think makes sense just because you said it. I'm in love with a man that's in love with himself. Here I am, horny as hell and mad as shit, while that lame-ass pretty motherfucker is hot to trot with his groupie-ass bitches, with the hope that they can one day live his life that feed off of his constant attention and good looks. I'm stuck at home with blue balls and a bitchy attitude, and I'm in love with a man that's in love with himself. And I hate to admit it, but damn, dude has me sprung. But that's the truth. I keep falling in love with the wrong type because they have me sprung. And they're in love with themselves, and I keep feeding it. When we know better, we do better, right, Maya Angelou? Here we are 10 years later, and I'm finally getting it. It's funny how sometimes when I read some of my poetry, I realize I was way ahead of my time 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and how much some of it still applies to my life now. So, I hope that Narcissistic Lover, which is the title of that poem, if I hadn't said it already, was good for you. Have a good day. Be fierce. Be fabulous. Be inspired. And do me a favor. When you get out on that motherfucking catwalk today, you better stop traffic with your walk. You hear me? I love you. Smooches. Mwah.